kind of this, I guess, is a good segue into what we were talking about a little bit before we came in here, our connection that we have in the sense of loss. And so for anyone who doesn't know, I lost my mom in 2014 to cancer.
I lost my mom in 2014 to cancer.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. When I found out you were going to be on here and I was looking you up, I saw that and it was like, I almost just cried just seeing that, because I thought, first of all, I felt everything for you there for a second, right? And then I felt like, oh, wow, this is, in a weird way, sort of a nice relief that, like, I'm not alone in this kind of a thing. And I don't know why, just the fact that it was the same type of loss in the same year from the same person in your life was just a little...
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah,
That's
intense.
super crazy.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think it's interesting because we were talking about before, you know, you can't know until you know. Like you can't know what that feels like until you've felt it. And I mean, how old were you when your mom got diagnosed?
I was 18.
Gosh,
And she like, it was stage 4, and
18.
she lasted for a long time. I was 23 when she died. So what is that, 5 years?
And it was breast cancer?
Yeah, that's where it started, and then it just spread all over the place because it was such an intense stage when she got diagnosed. Yeah, it was hard. It was bizarre. Like, we almost didn't talk about it as a family at first.
Oh, really? How did she find out? Like, what was the trigger for her?
She had these cysts on her neck, and then she went in to get checked out, and then that's where they found out.
Wow.
She, like, I remember when she got these things taken out, removed, and she was just being kind of, not mysterious, but I guess a little mysterious is the right word, because I could just tell that there was something weighing on her.
Yeah.
But then I also had just booked Teen Wolf.
Around the same time.
Right around the same time, and I was about to leave to go film, and we filmed in Atlanta, so I had to leave home. And so she didn't want to make me feel guilty for leaving, you know? So she kept it under wraps for a little bit. And then she told us, like, a month or two before I had to take off, because it was a real thing, and she had to tell us, you know? And I contemplated not going.
Yeah.
And you know, as an 18-year-old, that's a lot to kind of. I'm just now realizing it. Like that's
a lot.
That is a lot to kind of like think about and sit with. But yeah, we didn't really talk about it too much for the first couple of years, and then I think it was a lot of her influence because she was embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a really gnarly thing to come to terms with, and really scary. I can't even imagine what she was going through. Like, I can relate to you and the pain that we went through, but like I can't even imagine what our moms went through.
And what's crazy, I don't know about you, but for me, because I was a similar age too when I found out. I don't know, I felt like she was invincible because she's my mom. Yeah. So I was aware it was a thing, but there was no doubt in my mind, like, she's my mom, it's going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen to her. And so I think I lived in doubt or shock, I guess, for so long. And now as an adult, and I look back at it now that she is gone, and I think that we've, you know, gone through so many things and we have an expanded sense of like our mind. I look back and I think, gosh, I can't even imagine. I know where I was at, but I can't imagine where she was at.
I can't.
And I don't know, for a while I felt a little bit of guilt for not feeling it as hard for her then, because I didn't think anything was going to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's a hard thing too. It's all the guilt and like, God, all the times I wasn't there.
That was hard because so you were filming Teen Wolf that like through a lot of that then.
Yeah, the whole entire time. She died when I was still filming the show, but we ended up moving to LA, and so I was able to be home. But thankfully, what's really helped her kind of come to terms with everything and be open about it is that Teen Wolf got really popular, and then I was Variety offered me an award for working with a charity, and I was like, but I'm not working with any charities.
Really?
What's the point of this award? And they were like, well, let's find you a charity that works, and then you can go on stage and accept this thing. I was like, okay, cool. So it was this really random, kind of arbitrary thing.
So random.
So bizarre. And then I found Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and I clicked with them, and I really understood their mission and what they were trying to achieve, and I just really liked it. You know, I think I was pretty young still. I think I was like 21 when I kind of got started with them. And then I was just open about it. So like on stage, and then my aunt also passed away a few years before my mom did from cancer.
The same kind or different?
No, it was different. She had a more intense one. I don't think it was pancreatic.
Okay.
But it was an intense one. And so I got on stage, accepted the award, and kind of just shared my reason as to why I was working with Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And I could see my mom right now. I could see her with my family, like in the audience, and she was just like crying, but like happy tears because I was talking about my aunt. And then it was the first time I was open about my mom. And then that really switched things for her, and she became this advocate for just cancer, and she totally switched gears and wasn't embarrassed anymore. And she sent this, she like posted this big thing on Facebook and was just kind of unloading everything that she's been going through, and it really helped her kind of transform into this acceptance. Still not, you know, we never knew. It was still years before she actually passed away, and we didn't know for sure if it was going to happen or not. And so, but she was totally accepting of her position and her situation, and it was a beautiful transformation.
Yeah, that was probably huge for her to see that, because obviously didn't know your mom, but my mom, for example, and I'm sure it's a similar thing for just moms in general, I just think she didn't want us to feel her pain, and she didn't want us to feel pain. And so she battled so much of it silently and would just act like everything's okay and I'm fine and all of that, I think, for the sake of us. And similarly, when it was us that were bringing it up, I think she felt more comfortable talking about it, but she never wanted to put that on us. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she was strong, man. That's why I'm still like, how the hell? What the fuck?
I know.
What an angel. What a strong, like, I still can't to this day. I'm just like, how in the world did she have this disease and then still be this strong mother figure? It was intense, man.
I think all the time, if I were in the same position, would I be like that?
Right.
And in my mind, I'm like, there's just no way. There's no way. I would feel so sorry for myself.
Yeah.
But I think in the situation, it would be different.
I'm sure it would be. Like
my sister, for example, I have a younger sister. She, same mom. So she dealt with my mom passing. My mom passed on her birthday, which is just like her 16th birthday. But she just got diagnosed with cancer last year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so sad. She has leukemia. But she, her whole thing was like, oh, I don't think I could ever be that strong. She would always say that kind of stuff. I don't think I could be as strong as mom is. But she is, I don't understand. It's like the second it happens, and then all of a sudden she's waking up every morning at 6 a.m. and going for walks. And she is like in these support groups. She's just doing everything in her power. And it's so beautiful because I guess you just don't know until you're faced with that. Yeah, totally. It's a weird analogy, but it's like when people go to space and they look down on Earth and then nothing matters anymore. Like all the Earth problems don't matter, and it's like it must be something similar where it's like all this shit that fogged your head just gets turned down, and it's like now you realize what matters, and it's your family and health, and trying to overcome it, and because that's really what the fuck matters. It really is. I mean, we get so clouded with material things and like relationships and drama, just all this junk, right? That feels so important in the moment. And I'm not saying that it's not, because everything's important in the moment if you feel it. But when you sit down and you think about like, what is it that makes me happy? What in my life, what do I want to know that I had? And for the most part, it's normally happiness. I mean, like if I were to ask you the question, if you were going to die next week, like what would you want to say about your life? What would you want to know happened before you passed?
Yeah, just love. And I don't even know. That's a tough
love
question.
And joy, and like for me, I want to be with people that matter. I don't want to waste my time on things that are superficial and don't matter. It's just time is actually, I think for me, it made me realize how short time is.
Yeah.
How little time we have with the people that we love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it made me realize that too, and I'm now closer with that was such a weird silver lining too during this whole thing. I got really close. I mean, I was always really close with my family, but I got really close with my dad and my brothers.
Oh, really?
And yeah, we're like best friends, you know, and not saying that like it couldn't have happened if she didn't pass away, but it was a beautiful silver lining, you know. And it was almost like she brought us closer together. I don't know. It's bizarre.
Yeah. It's weird to think that way too, because I try to find the good in everything. It's really hard with that for me. Like, I think for the longest time I couldn't find the good in it. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, the whole people being like, oh, she's still with you. She's always with you. Everything's going to be okay. Yeah. That stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, say it one more time. Tell me one more time that she is here, because I do not see her. You know, that stuff that people said to make me feel better. Oh, did you have that happen?
I still have it.
Yeah.
People are still like, I even like posted something on Instagram the other day with the picture of my mom at her grave. And the reason why I posted it was just because like I didn't want to be the happy-go-lucky guy on Instagram. I want to show people that like, look, life is full of ups and downs, and here's one of them.
Yeah.
And people are like, she's still with you, you know, and it's really sweet because, like, you know, I appreciate it, you know, but like
they mean well.
They do mean well, but they're uncomfortable and they don't really know how to handle being uncomfortable, so they feel like they have to say, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah, and it's like, yo, I don't need you to feel sorry for me. Like, I've been through it, and I completely understand that.
Yeah.